Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Subday battles. Today we are taking part in the Class Warfare Challenge, where each contestant picked a specific trainer class. In Scad's case, he chose the Triathlete class, and you had to build your team based around Pokemon that trainer class would use, or has used in the Pokemon games. You didn't really get to interpret much there. So Scad is the one who brought us this challenge idea, and so thank you so much, Scad, for both your submission and the challenge suggestion. I really do appreciate it a lot. And so he comes in and he's got his Conrad up, who's been taunted, and it's up against the Muck there. Muck's pretty bulky, so Scad rightly switches out into Dewey here, and Dewey is going to throw up the Psychic, which is going to get a crit. And take down the Muck, but Muck was setting up his physical defenses, so he was in no way prepared for that. The crit probably did not end up mattering. Blammo then comes in, and Blammo's going to take 2 Flamethrowers and goes down to the Magmortar, which is unfortunate, but it allows Pearl to come in, and Pearl's going to go up against the Quagsire, throw up the Waterfall. Not going to do a real lot. Quagsire's pretty bulky, and so Conrad's going to come back in, get Toxic'd by Quagsire, take some damage there, but get the knockoff off, which is going to get rid of Quagsire's leftovers, so at least the bulk of Quagsire is not going to be healing up quite as much as he was previously. And then Conrad's going to have one last turn to throw up the Double Edge, which crits again, and is going to take Dodrio out with recoil damage. At which point Archeops comes in, gets a hard knockoff off on Pearl. Pearl lands the Waterfall though, and is going to take down the Archeops. This is a fairly water-weak team as it stands, so Pearl's going to be able to land a couple other waterfalls here and sweep through this last portion of the team until it hits the Pyroar, and the Flamethrower is going to take it down. But they've got Scad's got Dewey still, and so Dewey's going to be able to come in, throw up that Surf, and take out the Pyroar to finish off the battle. So awesome battle there, Scad. A cool little team you put together. I appreciate the participation. And let's see what the rest of you guys have thrown together, shall we? Alrighty. Alright guys, here we go with battle number 2 for today, and this one comes to us from Daniel Oliveria, who has been a long time sub of mine. He is Jetter up here on the right, and he decided to go for the Viscount trainer class, and he's got a little cup team that he's thrown together here. Skrulp is going to take a Leech Seed, but then wreck the Chikorita. Eevee comes in, gets Toxic'd by the Spikes, and is going to take some damage there as Daniel switches into his Esper. Eevee is going to evade the Fake Out and take a hard last resort, although the Sash is going to allow it to survive. But the Psychic is not going to be enough to kill the Eevee, so Esper is going to end up going down to the Eevee there. Eevee's taking some hard damage though, so it's not going to last much longer, as hard hitting as it is, and it's going to go down to a crunch here to the Pancham. Why Not then comes in. Why Not typically runs Shadow Tag or whatever, so you're pretty much stuck, and so Pancham's going to land that crunch but then go out, but that leaves Mindfu open to come in and with the knockoff go ahead and kill the Why Not. And Swinub comes in here, is going to be a hard to sell to go up against a Mindfu, but it does get the Endeavor off, which is that's a good strat there with the Sash and the Endeavor. That works out nicely for them, really cripples that Mindfu. May not end up mattering all that much, but the Honedge is going to come in, take a hard Dark Pulse from the Leo, and go down. So Honedge taking some hard hits there. Baneri's then going to come in, throw up the Drain Punch on the Leo, taking it out. But then Daniel's going to come back in with the Mindfu. He's going to immediately switch into Skrulp, baiting the Baneri. And Baneri's going to get the Black Sludge, which is going to do additional damage. Or I guess it should have. But then the Skrulp's going to get the Sludge Wave and go ahead and take out the Baneri. So a fun little battle there, a cool team that Daniel Jetter has thrown together. And yeah, thank you so much for the submission. I appreciate the first time submission for sure. And yeah, let's check out what the rest of you guys did, because there's a lot of you this week. Alrighty guys, and here we are with Ness's battle, and Ness stole my trainer class. He took the Gentleman Trainer class, which is the Old Man Trainer class, essentially. In fact, in Pokemon Stadium, I think it was actually called the Old Man Trainer class. So, he stole mine, but it's okay. I didn't actually, spoiler alert, I didn't get a challenge done this week. I just did not have time. I had like an hour to sit down to record, and I could not get one a challenge done. So Ness, I'm happy to let you have the gentleman trainer class this week. He chose some fun Pokemon to play around with here, so we'll just enjoy watching his battle. I apologize that I couldn't get one done, but the team I put together threw me into the OU tier, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to use these specific Pokemon because of just how the gentleman class usually plays out. And I could not get it going, and I just didn't have any more time. It's like, I got to get this thing recorded, or I'm going to be away for the weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend here in America, which means we have a 3-day weekend, and I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone, long gone, until like Monday night. So, got to get some stuff up. I didn't have time to continue messing with it, so I apologize for that. But there's a lot of you guys this week, so it shouldn't really be too much of a loss for you. Ness is going to get his dog here. Stoutland is killed by the Snorlax. Then the pair comes in and gonna take a hard hit from the Snorlax. Throws up that hidden power, gets a crit, but even the crit does almost nothing. So I'm not sure which is it. It was probably Ice type, I guess. With the I don't know what that would be. But Arcanine comes back in, is gonna again take another hard hit. Snorlax is ripping through Ness's team here. Migraine comes in with the Aerial Ace, just barely is enough to kill the Snorlax, so that works out nicely. And Migraine just barely hangs on with the poison damage, so that works out great. Golduck's going to survive until the Charizard Y comes in and wrecks his face. At that point, Mutton comes in. He then pulls the Mega out of his sleeve as well. The new Dragon plus Electric typing is going to be enough resistance to survive the Solar Beam. And then he wins a speed tie here against the Charizard, it looks like, in order to land the last move and kill the Charizard. So Mega Ampharos for the win. I gotta build a team around Mega Ampharos. The thing is just so majestic looking. But yeah, so Ness doing the gentleman class proud. The old man, thank you, Ness, and I thank you as well as a fellow old man for submitting a battle this week. I greatly appreciate it. So let's continue on to the next one, shall we? Thanks again, Ness. Alright guys, welcome back. We are checking out Thunder's battle, and he decided to do double battles, which is awesome. You guys are always, of course, welcome to try. I always say, really any tier you want. That includes double stuff, so that's great. Thank you, Thunder, for an interesting perspective here on this one. And he did the Earl class, So led off with his Crocodile and Mega Tyranitar. Was able to take out the Armara, but the Torkoal's hanging on there, and his original set is going to go down before Torkoal sees the grave, which he is going to end up doing here. The Dragonite does good work against the Torkoal and the Pyroar, and takes those guys down no problem. At that point, Talonflame and Tyrunt comes in. Talonflame wrecks Gengar, and Gengar is going to go down, and then the Dragonite's going to attempt the Earthquake again. The Tyrunt's going to hold on there, and Gabrielle's going to go down. So that leaves him with just his Haxorus and his Staraptor. Staraptor takes a hard hit from the Talonflame there. Oh, that's a tough one. And is able to kill the Talonflame with its last breath. At which point Harry the Haxorus is going to be able to kill the Tyrunt, leaving it just Haxorus versus Chandelure, which is a very interesting battle. Harry takes a hard hit from the Chandelure Shadow Ball, but is able to withstand the recoil of an Outrage and survive the battle. So awesome. A very down to the wire battle. Very cool. Thank you so much, Thunder, for your submission, and a cool just perspective. The double battles thing, I hadn't even thought about it really myself, but when I saw that, I was like, you know what, that's really cool. We should do more of that. So thank you so much, and we got 2 more to get through today, so let's jump right on to it, shall we? Thanks again, Thunder. Here we go. Alrighty guys, we are watching Gaming Logic's battle, and he also decided to do Little Cup, as a couple of you guys did this episode. Actually, I think there was 2 other potential Little Cup battles. I don't remember. But anyway, Gaming Logic is doing the Sailor class, so you'll recognize, some familiar Sailor Pokemon here. Pico is here, and Pico is going to go up against Ice Queen now. The Ice Slash is a critical hit, but does very little against the Rock type. So Wingull is going to come out, bring Krabby back in. The Encore is going to fail thanks to the switch, and Krabby is going to throw up the Super Power. Protect, obviously, is going to shield the Ice Queen from that, and they're going to get on out of there, bringing in the Riolu, who isn't going to appreciate his superpower much more than anybody else. He hangs on with 1 HP and is killed by the hail. So not a great switch on their behalf. Well, I guess I was going to say I probably would have sacrificed Pichu, but with Gaming Logic's team being mostly water types, I guess it makes sense for Pichu to hang on. Pichu knows Electro Web? That's odd. Rattata comes in with the frustration and is going to take out the Pichu. Ice Queen comes back in at that point, Elsa wrecking the house. Frostbath doing a ton for resisted attack, although they did have a crit there to help them out with it. And then the Horsey is going to throw up the Hydro Pump, does nothing. Continue to get buffeted by hail, so we're going to switch into the Staryu. As they switch into the Poliwag, Staryu is going to throw up the Thunderbolt, as Star User ought to do, and then take a Hypnosis, which is unfortunate. So Staryu's going to come on out, Horsey's going to come back in, take a Waterfall from the Poliwag, and then take a Hypnosis, which... Now, how is that possible? Is Staryu... Wasn't Staryu asleep? Isn't there sleep clause? How could he put 2 of his Pokemon asleep? That seems odd. Krabby comes in with superpower and finally kills the stupid Ice Queen, leaving them just down with the Lillipup. And little Drowsy comes in, the shiny Lillipup, and is going to throw up the Yawn, which is going to put Krabby to sleep here any minute as he protects in and wait. So the superpowered Krabby goes down for his nap, and so at that point, Krabby's going to go down to the bite, and Gaming Logic's going to bring in his Machop. Just been hanging on to him, waiting to come out for the normal type. And he's going to throw up the Bullet Punch here and take down little Drowsy. So yeah, there we go. Gaming Logic, thank you so much for your submission. I truly appreciate it, and I appreciate always people choosing to do Little Cup. It's a fun mix-up. So thank you again, and let's check out our last battle of today, shall we? Here we go. Alright guys, and welcome back to our final battle for today. We are with Vernon N, who has chosen the veteran class, so he is veteran N for this battle, which is very nice. And so he has a very interesting team here. It looks like the veterans have a fairly decent Pokemon pool to choose from, so that works out for him. His Tangrowth is going to survive long enough against the Gyarados to get a decent move off, but then is going to go out hoping to not go down. The Ice Fang crit doing so hard against the Gyarados. That's almost disappointing to see how strong that was. Really cripples the Gyarados here a bit. And Zapdos comes in, gonna force the switch out. Tyranitar comes in, takes that Heat Wave like it's a joke, and is going to. Everybody's getting leftovers going here. Hippopotame comes in, and as Tyranitar throws up the rocks, and Porygon switches in here. And is going to throw out the Tri-Attack against the Hippowdon. It does good work there as Crobat gets whirlwinded into the rocks. Going to take a quarter damage there, but is going to heal back a little bit before switching back out into the Porygon. Hippowdon using the Slack Off to heal almost back up to full, which is disappointing. But then Vernon's going to get the Ice Beam off and do some good damage there. Gyarados comes in. And they're going to switch into their Slowbro, which is going to take that Waterfall a little better than I'm sure Vernon would have liked. And he gets the Crunch off there, which does much better damage against the Slowbro. And the Scald is unfortunately going to burn, which is going to kill the Gyarados, so tough luck there. And that's real disappointing. I had a couple battles today, too, where they kept... My Scald wasn't landing any burns, but every time they would Scald me, it would burn. It was like, what is happening here? It was kind of disappointing. But Porygon Z is going to switch back out into Tyranitar, afraid of the Zapdos. Tyranitar takes that very well. Again, they get the Parahacks there. So not a great battle for Vernon in terms of fairness of the RNG rolls there. But that's all right. He manages to pull it out here. So Azumarill is going to come in with the Waterfall. It does less than you would expect for a Tyranitar, so that's nice. And he's going to land the Stone Edge, which works out very well for him. Waterfall, again, not enough to kill, but he misses the Stone Edge, so it's kind of a moot point at that point, because the Azumarill is obviously going to be able to get another hit off and kill the Tyranitar. Tangrowth comes in at that point, takes the play rough like it's nobody's business. Unfortunately, the Azumarill's got... Sap Sipper, which is going to boost attack based because of the grass move. And they yet still decide to stay, or they decide to switch out because Zapdos is immune to the Earthquake. Crobat's going to come in, risking more damage here, and he's going to go for the Super Fang, which is going to half the Zapdos' life before Crobat goes down. So Vernon's going to now bring in the Excadrill that he's been holding in the wings this whole time, and throw up the Rock Slide, which is almost enough to kill the Zapdos. And he avoids the Heat Wave, which is very, very lucky for him. And he's able to land the Rock Slide a second time, which kills the Zapdos. So Azumarill is going to come in, die to rock damage. Slowbro comes in, takes a little bit of rock damage himself, but not enough to kill. And the Excadrill is able to land the Earthquake, which almost kills, but then the Slack Off is going to bring the Slowbro back to life. You're going to take another Earthquake here. Throw up a Scald, which is going to kill the Excadrill, at which point I'm assuming he'll bring back in the Tangrowth. Yep, there he goes. And Tangrowth's going to get that Giga Drain up in order to kill his opponent finally. So, whoo! Good battle, Vernon. That was a nail biter for sure. And I appreciate the submissions this week. So many of you guys showed up for this week, so that's awesome. I appreciate that quite a bit. That you guys would go ahead and do that for me. It means a lot that you guys are continuing to support this series. I appreciate it. This week, I meant to, I put these in the wrong order, and you'll have to apologize. I'll have to apologize. You'll have to forgive me. This week, we are going to be doing Gaming Logic's submission, and so I should have put him last in the queue, and I could talk about it during his battle. But what we are going to be doing is, this is going to be a 3 or less challenge. And what that means exactly what it sounds like. You guys need to create a team of 3 or less Pokemon and get a win. So whatever Pokemon you want those to be, your team can only consist of up to 3 Pokemon, which means you get 3 slots empty on your team in order to do this challenge. So could be a bit of a challenge, less of a challenge than one of the ones I had been considering a little while ago, which was the Solo Run challenge, where you'd have to do it with a single Pokemon. So Gaming Logic's being a little bit nicer to you guys than I was considering being. And he's requested this one twice in 2 weeks in a row, and I don't think we got any other submissions this week. So finally, we've got an opening where I don't really have to consider that against anything else. I think you guys are ready for it based on the turnout of this week. It'll be a little more challenging probably, but I think you guys can do it. So I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' submissions for it next week. Or this week, because I've got to put it up next week. So, yeah, make sure to get those in as soon as you can. Again, thank you guys so much for the huge turnout this week. A lot of you guys submitted, which I appreciate greatly. Some of my Showdown stuff has been slipping, but this has continued to be a very well-received series, and so it's a series made by you guys, as evidenced. We have almost 20 minutes of footage here this week, and I didn't even have a battle in there. So you guys are awesome, and I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure to leave those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one!